Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and I'm a tutor of the Russian and Ukrainian languages. And today we will look at the words which sound similar but have different meanings, or as we call them, false friends, between Russian and Ukrainian. We will compare nouns as well as some verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And let's start from the word человек in Russian language. Человек, it's a person or human. It can be man or woman, but if we say молодой человек, if we will add this adjective, it means man, young man, not woman. But in Ukrainian, человек, it's only man or husband. We have the same word for man and husband, человек. In Russian, man, мужчина, and husband, муж. In Ukrainian, person, human is людина. By the way, if we will make a plural, people, in Russian, люди, in Ukrainian, люди. It's originally from the word людина. But in Russian language, we use the word человек. And the next, the word неделя in Russian and неделя in Ukrainian. It's also different words. In Russian, it's week. In Ukrainian, it's Sunday. The word неделя originally meant a day without work. It comes from Old Church Slavonic word, literally not doing, means not work, don't work. This idea refers to Sunday as a day of rest. In Ukrainian, we use this word as Sunday, неделя. In Russian, later the meaning shifted to the whole 7-day cycle, so now all week is неделя in Russian. The Russian word воскресенье means Sunday and comes from the word resurrection. It refers to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. It replaced Old Slavic word for Sunday like неделя. And the Ukrainian word тиждень comes from Old East Slavic word meaning the same day, той же день, referring to the repeating cycle of days. It reflects the idea of a week as a fixed, recurring time unit. So in Russian we have неделя, it's week, in Ukrainian неделя, Sunday, in Russian Sunday is воскресенье, and in Ukrainian week is тиждень. The next word is час. Час in Russian, час in Ukrainian. In Russian it means hour, in Ukrainian time. If you want to ask what time is it, in Russian который час, or in Ukrainian котра година, or час летить, время летит, because in Ukrainian hour is година, and in Russian time is время. There are also very similar words место and место. Место in Russian is place, место in Ukrainian city. But in Russian city is город, in Ukrainian place is місце. If we will look at the words город and город, also very similar words, we write the same, but these words have different stress and have different meaning. In Russian, город, city. In Ukrainian, город, it's a vegetable garden. In Russian, vegetable garden is огород. And as we saw before, Ukrainian word city is место. Also very similar words but with different meanings. Russian кровать or кроватка, it's diminutive form from the word кровать, and Ukrainian кроватка. Very similar. But in Russian it's bed, in Ukrainian it's tie. In Ukrainian bed ліжко from the verb лежати. In Russian tie is галстук. Maybe if you know Ukrainian or Russian, you should know the adjective or adverb весело or веселый in Ukrainian or весело, веселый in Russian, like funny, joyful, cheerful. But if we will make a noun from these words, in Russian we will have веселье, fun. But in Ukrainian, весілля, it's already wedding. In Ukrainian, fun is веселощі, and in Russian, wedding is свадьба. The words образ and образа, very similar. Of course, we also have Ukrainian word образ. These words have the same meaning, image, in Russian and in Ukrainian. But in Ukrainian, we have very similar word образа, what means insult, offense. In Russian, it's обида or оскорбление. It's a different word. Very interesting situation with these words. In Ukrainian, we have a word strava, what means dish. But in Russian, very similar word отрава, it's a poison. In Ukrainian, poison is отрута, and strava in Russian, блюдо. Very similar to the previous words, Ukrainian травлення, digestion, and Russian word отравление, what sounds very similar to Ukrainian травлення, means poisoning. In Ukrainian, poisoning отруєння, and in Russian digestion is пищеварение. And look at the next words. Russian питание, what have several meanings like nutrition or supply, and Ukrainian питання, question. In Russian, question is вопрос, and in Ukrainian we have two different words for nutrition and supply. For nutrition it's харчування, and for supply живлення. And verbs. In Russian, питать, to supply, or питаться, it's reflexive verb to eat, also very similar to the verb питати, to ask. And in Russian, to ask спрашивать, and in Ukrainian, to supply живити, to eat харчуватися. This word is analog to the Russian питаться, питаться харчуватися. But питати Ukrainian, it's to ask. In Russian, we have питать, what we saw before, and пытать. Also very similar to the verb питати. Мати питала сина. Мать питала сина. You already know, in Ukrainian питати it's to ask, but in Russian пытать it's to torture. And in Ukrainian to torture катувати. By the way, there is a joke about Kit Kat. It sounds like cat executioner. Kit Kat. And let's look at some food. It's berry or fruit or vegetable. I already confused because different websites call them differently. Okay, it doesn't matter. The words арбуз and гарбуз. It's different also. In Russian, it's watermelon. In Ukrainian, it's a pumpkin. In Ukrainian, watermelon is kavun. In Russian, pumpkin is тыква. Different words. You can meet the word крыльцо. In Russian, it means porch. When you go out from the house, this place, porch. In Ukrainian, it's ганок. But similar word to the Russian крыльцо, there is word крыльце. Крыльце, it's a diminutive form for the крыло, wing. In Russian, wing, also diminutive form is крылышко. The word look. Look, it's a bow in Ukrainian and bow in Russian. But in Russian, we also use the same word what has meaning onion. Also look. In Ukrainian, onion is цибуля. So if Russians will speak about look, It doesn't mean they speak about bowl. Maybe they speak about onion. Vek and week. In Russian, vek it's a century. You can also meet this word in Ukrainian. But in Ukrainian we have also words століття, сторіччя, and in Russian we can meet the word століття. But in Ukrainian, vek also age, which in Russian is возраст. Прозвище and прізвище. In Russian, прозвище is nickname, in Ukrainian, прізвище is surname or last name. In Ukrainian, nickname is прізвисько, also enough similar word, and in Russian, surname is familia, like English word family, family name. It's not original Slavic word. Родина and родина. In Russian, родина is motherland. In Ukrainian, родина is a family. Usually, what is difference between сім'я and родина? Сім'я it's a mother, father, children. Родина it's a bit more, including also grandfathers and grandmothers. In Russian, for family, usually we use only the word сім'я. And motherland in Ukrainian, батьківщина. The word mir or mir also can have different meaning. In Russian, the word mir has several meanings. It can be world or peace. In Ukrainian, it's only peace. In Ukrainian, world is світ. And we can use this word in Russian too, like свет. Свет and світ. And the Russian word свет has also meaning as a light. In Ukrainian, it's світло. But світ it's a world. I hope I didn't confuse you. The word shar. Shar in Russian it's bowl. In Ukrainian, shar is layer. And in Russian, layer is sloi. And in Ukrainian, bowl as a geometric figure is a kuля. Very similar words also участь and участь. In Russian, участь it's similar like судьба, fate. In Ukrainian, участь it's participation. In Russian, it's участие. And fate in Ukrainian, доля. The adjective красный. In many Slavic languages, the word красный means beautiful. In Ukrainian also exists this word like beautiful, nice, but we use it enough rarely in this meaning. We can use this like adverb, красно дякую, like thank you very much. And maybe sometimes you can meet this in this meaning, but it's rarely. But there is another adjective from this красный, like прекрасный, wonderful. It sounds in Russian and in Ukrainian the same. Прекрасный or прекрасный in Russian and прекрасный in Ukrainian sounds very similar. But in Russian, the word красный is red. It means red. In Ukrainian, red is червоный and beautiful, красивый in Russian. And we continue speaking about something beautiful or not beautiful. In Ukrainian, we have word краса or врода. Врода, and in Russian, there is word урод, what has completely different meanings. In Ukrainian, врода, it's beauty. In Russian, урод, it's ugly. And in Ukrainian, ugly is потвора. Also, you can hear something like виродок. And in Russian, beauty is красота. And adjectives, similar to previous nouns, уродливый and вродливый. Again, уродливый, ugly, вродливый, beautiful. In Ukrainian, we also have adjectives гарний, красивий, which mean beautiful. And in Russian, it's красивый. And Ukrainian ugly is потворний. Also very similar words, but with different meaning and even different part of speech, noun and verbs. Russian не жить, not to live, very similar to Ukrainian не жить. Не жить is runny nose. In Russian не жить is насморк. In Ukrainian не жить, не жити, very similar. But you should know we have very similar noun не жить in Ukrainian. Сварить and сварити. Мати сварила сина. Мать сварила сина. Сварить is a perfective verb, what means to cook, to boil in Russian. In Ukrainian, сварити to scold. In Ukrainian, to cook, to boil also sounds enough similar, but start from the letter z, зварити. And to scold in Russian, ругать. Орать and орати. Very similar verbs, but again with the different meanings. In Russian, орать is the same like кричать, to scream. But in Ukrainian, орати is to plow. For example, to plow the field. And in Ukrainian, to scream, also similar to another verb, кричати. And in Russian, to plow, пахать. The verb пахать you can hear in Russian language also in other meaning, like a slang, to work very much, to work a lot, пахать. Пыльный and пыльный. Very similar words, again with a different meaning. In Russian, пыльный is dusty. In Ukrainian also we use the same adjective, пыльный, like dusty, or запыленный, dusty. But in Ukrainian, пыльный also is a vigilant. In Russian, бдительный. Ясно and ясно. In Russian and in Ukrainian we have adverb ясно, or in Ukrainian ясно, what means clear, like I understand. But in Ukrainian we also have a noun, ясно. This word means gums. And in Russian, gums is десны. And I missed another very common word, другой and другий. Другой in Russian is another, and другий in Ukrainian is second. Second in Russian, второй, and another in Ukrainian, інший. And a very funny phrase. In Ukrainian we say нехай щастить, good luck. But Russians can hear another things, like нехуй шастать. It's bad words, it's rude, what means stop wandering around, stop walking here, like go. If you know more words which sound similar between Ukrainian and Russian, write me in comments. And I hope this information was useful for you and interesting. If you have any questions, please write me in comments too. And please click the like button, subscribe to my channel. See you.